Hello, guys. Good evening. So sorry for the delay. Let me just let everybody else know that we're live. Good evening, Essay. How's everyone? How was your day? Hope you guys all had a nice day. Um, like we voted in the class, we're going to be talking about protective styling today, and I don't know that we would be able to finish everything in one class because I wanted us to. This particular material is not new. I've used it to teach before, but it's a little bit more extensive, and I wanted us to be able to go through everything that I have planned. Yeah, mine was fine. It was fine, but it's starting to get dry here. So, okay, so as I was saying, I don't think we would be able to, do the whole thing today. That is the whole everything for protective styling. But I think we should be able to get to a good point. That's my that's the plan. Let's into it since we've already been delayed because of the network thing. I'm really hoping that it stays like that. Can you guys see the screen? Please just let me know if you can see it properly or if I should do more. If it's clear, then maybe we can go on. Okay. Let me zoom it back a bit. Okay. So this particular material, like I was saying, is a bit more detailed, I guess. So but this is the table of contents. We're talking about what protective style is, and I'm going to be grouping protective styles into categories, talking about the benefits of protective styles and the do's and don'ts of protective styles, and protective styles to avoid if you have some certain hair conditions, right? So for today's class, I think maybe we'll just do the first two or the first three contents, and then maybe the next class we can follow up, right? So let's just go straight into it. Okay, so protective styling, right, is basically a term that is used to describe um, what we do to our hair when we're trying to keep it from put it in a style, and then not just put it in a style, but when it's in that style, it is protected from the elements and it is kept in a safe way such that your hair strands are not breaking and things like that. So we've already established the fact that your our hair is because of how it's shaped and texture and everything. We've already established that fact in our previous classes that you know our hair is more prone to breakage, right? And that's the reason why if we go back into our ancient traditions, right, in a lot of African cultures, is clumped together. That helps to protect it, right? So protective styling is a very, very important part of our hair care practices. Is a very important part of just growing our hair and taking care of our hair. But I want to preface that the name protective is literally it's literally in the term, right? So if you have a hairstyle on that is a hairstyle, um quote and unquote, it's keeping your hair away, right? But in the process of keeping your hair away, it is damaging your hair. It is, you know, causing hair loss. It's causing breakage. Then you cannot actually call that style a protective style, right? So I want us to have a different perspective of what a protective style is, because I feel like the way the term is being used in natural hair community or just generally, I feel like it has gone away from the original purpose, right? And technically, your hair doesn't have to be in a braid with extensions or in wigs or Ghana weaving or things like that, right? For it to be termed a protective style. What I have on my head right now is a protective style. It's a style. It has my ends tucked away, and it's protecting my hair. And I can literally go out like this. So this is a hairstyle, and I can term this hairstyle a protective hairstyle because it's doing just that. You understand? So, um, essentially, right? That's what a protective style is. So if you're doing anything on your hair, right? That is, it's a hairstyle, it looks cute, it looks pretty, it's in vogue, but it's not protecting your hair. Your hair is worse off for it, your hair is breaking, it's putting tension on your hair. Then technically, that style is not protective because it's not protecting your hair. I don't know if I'm making sense, right? So the idea is minimum manipulation, keeping your hair so that it can retain length and it can grow, right? So, excuse me. So, just because there's a new style that has come out and it looks all really nice and everything, it might work for one person, right? To call that a protective style, and that style actually protects their hair, but it may not necessarily work for you. So technically, what is protective for A may not be protective for B, right? But I just wanted us to dismantle what a protective style is generally, right? And sort of kind of like why it's important. Okay, so I broke down protective styles into two categories, right? This list is not exactly exhaustive, but with the categorizing, I would say this these categories are pretty much it when it comes to what we can do with our hair, right? So we have protective styles with extensions, and we have protective styles without extensions, right? So, protective styles with extensions would include things like, braids, braids with attachment, like we call it, braids attachment, Ghana weavings, and then things like sewings, wigs, frontals, crochet, fox locks, ponytail, updo, anything that you're going to be, any style that you're going to be doing where you're going to have to add something that isn't your real hair is a protective style with an extension, and vice versa. A protective style without an extension can involve all these things, but basically you're doing it and you're not adding any extra hair, you're not adding any other thing. It's just you're just working with your hair, right? So these are the two categories. Any protective style that you can think of, right? Especially the ones that we do, will always fall into one of these two um categories, right? And then I don't know if it's yeah, okay. So I said for protective styles without extensions, there's twists, loose braids, cornrows, flat twists, threading, bantu knots, corsets. So corsets is basically anything like that you use to curl your hair. So you can even still add wash and go. Although wash and go is not a corset, but when you use those big chunky rollers and you have those nice 90s Hollywood curls, when you use bendy rollers and you have those types of curls, anything that you're going to do that is going to give you curls that are different from how your hair normally shaped, right? That is, you know, a protective style. Sorry, that's a corset. So styles with extensions and protective styles without extensions. So before I go forward, right, I would like to state something. You remember I said that what may be protective for A may not necessarily be protective for B.